Scary stuff. Governor Rick Scott warning Floridians to get out while they still can. As we wait an update from Broward County on Hurricane Irma preparations, the Category 5 storm barreling through the Caribbean, and we're now learning that 3 people have died in Puerto Rico. Joining us now on the phone from Puerto Rico is Captain Eric King. He's commanding officer of Coast Guard Sector San Juan. Thank you very much for joining us.
Hi, good morning.
So you just heard us say we now have reports that 3 people in Puerto Rico have died. There are, 3.4 million people there. We had reports 1 million people are without power. What are conditions like right now?
So conditions on the island of Puerto Rico, where we are at inland by about 10 miles, we positioned our forces away from our downtown location in Old San Juan. Both locations have lost power, and we're on generator power for the Coast Guard forces at this time.
Yeah, I also saw that 14 hospitals are using generators after losing power. What is the Coast Guard doing to help?
So the Coast Guard's role is obviously, focused on the maritime perspective. I mean, we're linked in, aligned with the Emergency Operations Center and the Puerto Rico Emergency Management Authority. But primarily focused on the maritime commerce, and facilitating any search and rescue that would need to happen on the island of Puerto Rico as well as the Virgin Islands.
Have you seen any of the damage from the U.S. Virgin Islands? I know people online, also for Puerto Rico, saying that they're not getting a lot of coverage from those areas, but I know that communication is limited with some of those islands right now.
Yeah, certainly the communication infrastructure has been impacted. Fortunately, I mean, we're able to have some cell coverage and able to communicate amongst ourselves. I think our largest concern remains St. Thomas and St. John and the northern coasts of Puerto Rico. Mm-hmm. The geography down here with islands, obviously people are aware of that, but there's ferry systems that are used to really move a lot of the population around. And so one of our major focus areas is certainly ensuring that we can get those ferries back operational to move first responder personnel in between all the islands to support the population.
Yeah, unfortunately, I mean, I have some friends down there in St. Thomas, and I was trying to reach them today, and there's no phone service. I spoke with them before Irma hit, and a lot of people definitely stayed behind on those islands, so I hope that they're okay. What equipment do you have to help out?
So the Coast Guard at this point, we've got 4 helicopters in the air, 1 860 and 3 865 helicopters flying, so supporting search and rescue as well as doing overall damage assessments. Additionally, we had 7 cutters sortie from San Juan and go down to Curacao. They're going to be coming back along with a medium endurance cutter to support the relief effort. And within San Juan, our small boats are getting back in the water now, so we have 3 small boats, a 45 response boat, as well as 3 other craft in the water looking at aids navigation and doing assessment to get maritime cameras back as soon as possible.
Yeah, and even though the hurricane has passed directly over these areas at this point, the danger far from over. Thank you very much for joining us, Captain King. Appreciate it.